The Last of Us, episode 5. Endure and Survive was the name of the episode, and I enjoyed it until the very end. And so, spoiler alert, I enjoyed the whole episode, but boy, that ending really pissed me off.
It was upsetting.
It was upsetting, yes, more so than I was shaking my fist at the air. And we are joined by Neil Swain, who is the expert of the video game version of this and can help us through. Did everybody enjoy this episode?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
I liked it.
Had two characters, Sam and Henry, who were brothers. Sam is the little kid, right?
Yeah. Henry was the big brother.
Yeah. Paint on his face. Yeah.
Sam is deaf, but he's able to communicate well, and Henry is his older brother doing anything to protect him. And we have a whole bunch of characters in this one that, well, let's just say they don't quite make it. And that actress whose name I can't ever remember. Melanie Linsky. She's kind of the main baddie. And she makes her little sidekick with the beard, Perry, kill all these people for no reason. She's basically
that guy was somebody from the game, right, Neil?
Yeah, he
sidekick.
Yeah, he voiced Joel's brother Tommy.
Oh wow, okay. So, if you're a person like me who didn't play the game and doesn't know the story, should I skip ahead and watch all the gameplay so I know the story about what's coming up? Will they diverge enough to where that wouldn't hinder my enjoyment of the series?
You're gonna go on Twitch and watch people play the game?
They're all on YouTube.
Yeah, they got some good edits on YouTube. Yeah, they'll take the not only the cutscenes, but they'll take just enough gameplay to like once through gameplay, so it's like perfect gameplay where there's no deaths. But yeah, you can do the whole thing that way.
I have a Twitch episode in my house every weekend.
Oh, you do? You guys like the way they're doing the storytelling in this show, where they kind of do a little bit of a flashback at the beginning, and then they bring you up to the current day. That's sort of kind of how they've been doing it, right?
Yeah, well, that's how people make stuff now.
Yeah,
and Tarantino came along.
Yeah,
I like the direction where they don't just they're not spoon feeding you.
It's a very complex show. It's not something like, if I don't know that I would have watched it, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on, and it's a video game show, and I tend to, not get involved in that stuff. But this one grabbed me from the first episode, and I think every episode's been really, really good. And this one didn't fail to deliver. I mean, if you're only there for the action and to watch them kill the critters, well, you get a lot of that at the end. And we finally see a bloater. And boy, if I saw a bloater, I'd just eat a bullet. I wouldn't tear my head off.
Well, and that's exactly what he'd do, is tear your head off. That's for sure.
But Neil, for the people who've watched the show and then are watching our video, can you kind of tell about Sam and Henry and who they are in the video game and how they differ from the television show?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much them in the game, but there was no organized town, so there was no backstory. So they didn't turn in her brother or any of that kind of stuff. But what happens is you basically just kind of run into them, and at first you have a altercation because you kind of startle each other, and Joel and Sam actually get into it. I'm sorry, Joel and Henry get into it, and Sam comes over with a gun, much like Ellie had to do, and he's pointing it at him. And he tells him to stop because they stopped fighting. And he goes, "He's a good guy. He's stopped, blah, blah." And they work it out. And you think they're going to make kind of part of the journey together. And then obviously what happens in the end is pretty accurate in the show.
But Sam's not a little kid in the video game, right? And he's not. Oh,
he's not deaf.
Not deaf. Okay. I was listening to the Last of Us podcast, and how they came up with these characters, and I like the fact that they had the video game creator on the podcast as well, because he's saying, you guys made these superbly well-rounded characters to fit into the narrative of the show, and the way that they encounter each other. It's weird. Why do you think they moved it to Kansas City instead of using Pittsburgh like in the game? Just narrative of the show to get them across the country fast.
Because he knew it was going to be the Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just a fan of Mahomes. Yeah.
yes. Well, I think the bloater looked like Mahomes.
Yeah. Maybe an offensive lineman. I don't know.
Yeah. What are they officially called? I know you get in trouble on the show if you say zombies. That word is verboten on the set. What are they?
Infected.
Clickers.
Yeah.
Infected. Yeah.
Well, overall, they're called the infected. Okay. So there's clickers, bloaters, the runners. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The runners are pretty scary, but you still haven't seen a few different types. There's more coming.
Did they throw? Is the plot about the town overthrowing Fedra? Is that in the game too in Pittsburgh, or that just something that they threw in the TV show?
No, you actually start out under federal rule, where you're kind of smuggling Ellie out of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how later on you have the altercations later on, and that's where Tess meets her demise.
Okay.
But Fedra becomes less and less, and it's more about finding the Fireflies in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is interesting. We haven't quite got there yet in the show, so I'm curious to see. Because when they make it, they say Jackson, and on the game, I mean, you're always in Jackson. I assumed it was Jackson, Missouri. I don't know, somewhere around in there.
I got eaten by a mushroom.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's where they're at, and it's pretty much like a civilized city.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. A nice little rest, safe haven, if you will.
I noticed they didn't do any teaser at the end of this episode, so I wonder what they have in store for us for episode 6.
No, they did.
They did? I didn't see it.
Yeah, they show him and his brother reuniting in the teaser.
Okay.
So it sounds like next week he's already going to make it to Wyoming or whatever.
I want to say how grateful I was that they just let that little kid clicker just tear her fucking chest apart.
Yeah.
I mean, she got such a
thrashing for trying to kill kids.
Such a thrash.
Killed by a kid.
I know that's right. I loved that, and I loved the whole where she was going on about how was Sam worth everybody else, your brother. Well, and she did the same shit.
Yep.
She had all her people killed because of her brother.
Yep.
It was exact same damn thing. She's such a stupid hypocrite piece of crap.
And he was already dead. So,
yeah, and Perry told her, like, your brother didn't do anything. You did everything. And that was kind of double-edged, I think. Like, you helped us overthrow Fedra, but you're also like a bitch. You're like horrible.
Get out of your childhood bedroom in here.
Mm-hmm. Somebody on Twitter I saw, because I saw her response to it, one of those concerned trolls, said, why isn't Perry leading everybody? He's masculine and tough. And, you have this frumpy gal. And her response was, I'm the brain behind it, genius. He's the muscle. I thought it was a nice, concise retort. Although I looked into that actress, she's not somebody I could follow on social media because she's always tweeting about social issues. So I'm just like, okay, I like you. You're a great actress. I don't need to follow you.
I mean, people's criticisms aren't wrong about her not looking apocalyptic. I mean, come on, they haven't had food in how many years? I don't think anybody's Zoftig in this era.
Okay.
But beyond that, I mean, it's just like people get so pissed off whenever, well, of course, some bitchy skinny model says it.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, fatty to fatty, you should be thinner. I'm sorry. She shouldn't be that big.
She gets all the game.
Yeah.
I guess.
She ate all those Fedra guys.
Yeah.
I just filled up on Fedra.
Oh, Fed. So, well, this episode was pretty good. What else do we need to say about it? You guys weigh in. I've been blathering on.
So that when all those clickers started coming out of the ground, that was what they saw when they were in last week's episode, when they were looking underground. They saw that big hole. Was that those clickers?
Yeah, the truck, it seemed like it wrecked and then it opened up the hole.
Yeah.
But I was going to say what was really cool was in the game, that's directly from that whenever Joel's up in the sniper tower. you have to do that as part of the game. The zombies, and first it is some sort of militia of some type coming after your Ellie and Sam and Henry, but then it turns into you've got to take out all these runners that just start coming in because they hear all the commotion. They're all the horde comes down on them, so you have to take them out. And unfortunately, that's where Sam obviously gets bit.
And that's when I'll hear a bunch of "goddamn motherfucker" coming from Neil's office. "Goddamn motherfucker, piece of shit."
Yeah, Joel
Intense.
didn't want to kill that sniper. He's like, "Come on, don't, man, don't."
Yeah, he really tried to give him a chance to live.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
I don't know. Ow, I covered my face in coffee and just got a facial from Starbucks.
Most of the backstories I've noticed are stories that build more of a relationship, or at least an explanation of the relationship between Joel and Ellie, as opposed to, I mean, they're pushing the story along and they're added in and there's stuff that people want to hear, but they're always like mirror images or like a large allegory to them. Sam and Henry was the same way. He would do anything for his brother, including turning everyone else in just to save him. And it's kind of it's weird how you're seeing all these traits in other people and you can only assume them about Joel and Ellie, which is kind of neat. I think at least a neat way to tell the story and reinforce their relationship without having them reinforce the relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Sam and Henry were a direct mirror of Joel and Ellie, definitely.
Yep.
And Neil, didn't you say there was a much bigger backstory about that character Ish that we saw the drawing on the kid's room in the tunnels?
Yeah, you find more letters. You find way more letters explaining what went down with that whole community underground.
Yeah, were those people that were underground? Did they become that horde of clickers that came calling out?
That's most likely, yeah, because it's so, when you read the final letter, you're so like, what the fuck? Basically what happened is somebody forgot to lock the back door.
Oh.
And an infected got in. That was it.
Oh, man.
Everybody's wiped out. Little kids, everything. Little kids, obviously, because you saw the one scurry up.
I didn't know that they'd be able to open doors.
And she was wearing some kind of what shirt was that little clicker girl wearing? It was like a My Little Pony shirt or Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, something Care Bears or something like that.
Yeah, something pink. Yeah, something. But some people have pointed out they think that her room was that room they were hiding out in when they first see Sam and Henry. That was her actual bedroom when she was not infected.
Yeah, okay.
I like how Ellie tries to save Sam with her blood, or maybe she knew that it didn't work, right? That she was just going to
I
stay.
think she thought it would work.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think she thought it might.
just going for it.
That was sad, though, how he really, like they said in the podcast, too, about how she found out that really was him still inside because he was still deaf.
yeah.
When she had to, like, shake him, he didn't hear her.
Yep.
So that they did such a good job with that show, and even her little writing that "I'm sorry" on his little racy patty thing.
Yeah.
We all had one.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that's our recap. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add, that's our recap of episode 5 of The Last of Us. And again, the name of the episode was, and this comes right from the game, right?
Endure and survive.
Endure and survive.
Oh yeah,
Brain dead.
Redundant.
redundant,
shit.
isn't it? Redundant shit.
Neil, will you join us again next week?
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully, try to get over this depression from this episode.
Oh, shocking. Yeah, I was very I wasn't mad like I'm never watching this again, but I was like, oh man, I like both of those characters a lot. And we're gonna probably see more and more of that, just like we saw in Walking Dead. Characters.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to get attached to anybody besides Ellie and Joel.
Right.
No, it's pretty much Game of Thrones over again. You have no idea
The mushroom wedding. All right.
Yeah.
Stupid jokes like that. All right. Thank you, Neil. And we
You bet, guys.
see you guys next week.